Introduction. Brain Path Language, BPL language system. Even in these modern technological times, there are many beliefs, practices, and messages that make people who want to learn a language believe that they will never reach their dream of speaking a second language. Or, on the other hand, they are filled with false hopes and expectations with no basis in the science of language learning, causing them to feel deeply disappointed when they find that it is more difficult than they thought. In sharing my experiences and research for this publication, my purpose is to provide a clear and factual explanation of the abilities which must be developed in order to understand the process of learning, and to create an approach for the development of the skills required to communicate in another language. My intent is not to take the place of the neurologist or another specialist. They are responsible for the taxonomy and biological explanations of what happens in our brain, as well as detecting illness or abnormalities. My perspective is developed from observing my students over years of teaching. My desire has driven me to study and understand how the wonderful human brain functions in order to improve both the learning process of my students, the effectiveness of teaching by professors, as well as address questions that anyone might have on the subject. I want to make this manual a simple, practical description of those neurological elements involved in human learning that are specifically focused and applied to the study of languages. The desired outcome is that we all understand how the advances in this area work and apply these principles to daily learning. I have organized my study into 7 keys to learning and functioning in the spirit that the teachers who follow me can develop their classes based on truths and constructive practices. This approach will allow them to leave behind the old teaching methods that impede true and lasting learning, while at the same time understanding the why of how our brain stores information and generates vitality in order to create brain connections that will last a lifetime. Learning a language is not just an option for children. Any adult can learn a second language and understand related brain processes. If they understand the best path to take for their learning, they can keep their motivation up and be less fearful of making mistakes. BPL is an ally on the path of language learning. Exercise your brain.